Hi, and welcome to my channel. Today, I want to talk about how to establish healthy boundaries or how to have healthy boundaries with potential relationship interests. And the reason why we're going to talk about this today is because it seemed to have been this past week that relationships were just on everyone's mind. So I shared with a client of mine, actually, she shared with me that there was a person at her workplace who was super dateable, and she was trying to not necessarily like him because she told herself that she was not going to date anyone at work. So we had that conversation about that, and I shared with her my story of my husband and I. And she loved it and said, "Oh my gosh, you need to really talk about that." And this is before she even knew I had a channel, right? So that was another quite amazing story. But anyway, so this person at her working place, started to show some interest, and she wasn't sure whether he was just being nice because he was new, or whether he was kind of digging on her, liking her. And she also said that he was a really nice guy and dateable. And so we talked about that. So I shared with her how shortly after my husband and I met, he was a member of the gym that I was a manager at. And we had a very, very strict no fraternization policy at my workplace for obvious reasons. Prior to me working there, there was a person who was an employee who definitely fraternized with members and other employees. And of course, you can imagine, it set off some drama, unnecessary drama at the workplace, at the gym, and made it uncomfortable for a lot of people. So, of course, fast forward, I come along, and this policy is in place and obviously being enforced, which of course completely understand. And for those of you that don't know, my husband and I met when we were in lockdown 1.0, and that is a whole nother story in itself that requires and deserves a whole nother video. And so when our gym opened back up about 2 weeks after my husband and I met, and I told him honestly that we have a no fraternization policy at my workplace, and being that I'm in the position that I'm at, I need to honor that and adhere to that. And he completely understood, and his words were pretty much to the tune of, "I understand. I'm not mad at you or the owners or other management." I mean, he totally understood. And he asked, would it be okay if we still talked on the phone? And I said, I don't see why not. It was just that we could not hang out anymore. Like I said, it was about 2.5 weeks that we got to know each other. We went on a few hikes. He took me around to see Oregon, the different little hikes in Oregon, because I had just moved here literally, a few months prior. So anyway, fast forward, I let him know that, yes, we could talk on the phone. I don't see why not. And I asked him if he wouldn't mind doing a Bible study. So that's what we did. Every day, we chose a chapter in the Bible that we would study together. And we studied that every night. So at the end of the day, when we spoke at night, we would share what we read and what we got from that. So we did that for about a week. And after that week, we were talking on the phone like usual. And he asked me, let me rewind. He actually, started talking about how he loved working out. He's always worked out. Of all the gyms in the valley that he worked out at, my gym that we were at was his favorite gym. And I thought to myself, where's this conversation going? Maybe he's going to tell me he doesn't want to talk to me anymore. I don't know where the conversation was going. And I think he was trying to figure out how to say what he wanted to say to me as well. Anyway, he came to the point where he said, what I'm trying to say is that I've worked out all my life. I have another gym membership, which is the place we actually met formally. Like I said, we met during the lockdown, so the gym I worked at was closed, and I joined another little gym, and that's where we actually ran into each other. But so he said, I could work out anywhere, but the point is, I don't know when's the next time I will meet someone like you that I would want to get to know better. And so he said, how would you feel about me canceling my membership at the gym so you and I could, spend some time getting to know each other, like in person, not just on the phone. And I was beaming on the other side of the phone. He could not see my face, of course, which is great. So I said, well, I know my honest answer. And of course, I'm sure he was a little scared that I was going to say something different than what he might have wanted me to say. And he's like, well, yeah, of course, I would like your honest opinion about the matter. And I said, well, honestly, I would really like that a lot. And he's like, really? And I'm like, yes, of course. Yes. Try not to be super excited, right? Trying to keep my cool. But I said, yeah, I would really like that. And I would really like to get to know him better. And within a few days, he walked right into the gym. And just so happened, the night that he canceled his membership at my gym, I was having dinner with a girlfriend of mine who I had just met in Oregon as well during the lockdown. And she and I were having like a girlfriend dinner. And that was the very night he walked into the gym to cancel his membership. And later on, he, of course, told me that he canceled the membership. And so fast forward, we hung out and got to know each other, really as friends, because that was really important to us, to really set a foundation of friendship and get to know the other person and what they're about and what their goals and dreams and values are. So that was really important. But I share all of that because I shared that story with her. And her response to me was, wow, I really love that story. And thank you for sharing that. And I think you need to share that story. And I'm going to do that. I want to have that conversation with this person because I need to learn how to set healthy boundaries for myself. I wasn't always successful in doing that in the past, but that's definitely something that I want to work on, is creating those healthy boundaries. And so I can have a healthy relationship with, it might not be this person, but any person that shows up as a potential love interest or even as a friend. I've had to draw healthy boundaries with friends as well. Again, a whole nother conversation, but we're specifically talking about potential love interests, right? So this week tended to be a week of lots of different relationship conversations that I've had with different individuals. 3 ladies in particular, I've had 3 different opportunities to talk about relationship matters that were on their mind and on their heart. So I just wanted to come on here and talk about that and how to create healthy boundaries with potential interests. And, the one thing that is really important is really knowing what your boundary is. So for example, my boundary of not fraternizing at work or with anyone at work. And yes, that might have been in place because it was a work policy, but I also wanted to, that was also a policy for me, okay? It was part of my Joan policy, so to speak. That was a boundary that was in my mind. I've been in the fitness industry for almost 30 years. I've worked in a gym for the entire time. And that is absolutely one of the things that I've pretty much kept, okay? So, and the times that they got blurred, oh boy, it definitely led down some not good paths. So just wanted to share that. The other second key point in health, creating a healthy boundaries, is knowing that you yourself would like to stay healthy. And when I say healthy, I mean physically, not just physically, but mentally and emotionally, right? Especially if you've been in hurtful situations or not the healthiest relationships. So if it's a healthy relationship that you're desiring, then keeping yourself healthy is paramount in establishing a baseline for a healthy relationship. Okay, so those are 2 tips that I want to give you as far as having or creating healthy boundaries for creating healthy future relationships. And a third bonus tip that I would say would be to know your worth, okay? And I know that's a tough one for a lot of people, especially if you're really struggling with knowing your worth. I don't know how many men and women that I've had conversations with that really struggled in this area, and men too. So ladies, don't be fooled. Men struggle in this area just as much as women do, and I'm almost gonna say sometimes even more than women do. Okay, so we can have a whole nother conversation about what it looks like, what it means to know your worth, and how to start building that for yourself, and to really know that you know that you know who you are and your value and what you have to contribute to not just this world, not just your work, not just your family, but to another individual whom you choose to be your helpmeet, to be your partner in this life, in this world. Okay, so I love you, friends. Thank you for hanging out with me, having this wonderful little talk, and I look forward to our next one. Have a great day for now. I love you. Bye.